the folk bug. I started playing. Actually, I started playing bass and was playing with a jazz trio. Then get hired to do backup for a folk band, and started doing a lot more folk music. From 77 to 87, I then played with a Celtic band called the Greencastle Band. Then got back into folk music, and I met Steve right around the late 90s, and I was playing and still do play with my longtime partner, Friday night host of the Bluegrass Breakdown on WRIU 90.3 in Kingston, Mr. Michael Fishman.
Probably one of the few shows around other than the Tony Jones Show playing decent music.
Right, yeah, exactly. Other than this show, and I can only, if he wasn't my partner, I wouldn't even say it. But we have actually been playing together for about 25 years.
Wow.
And then Steve said he was putting this thing together, so I sent him a tape of a song, the White Shirts, Hungry Children, that I had written, and I was working with a woman who was in a gospel choir in Newport, the Community Baptist Church in Newport, and I had this idea. The way I wanted to produce it was I wanted to have a backup chorus, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I asked her if she'd be interested. So I met her at the church over in Newport after their choir practice one morning, and I showed them the song and the word, and she introduced me to the choir leader, and I played him a quick thing of the song, showed him the words, and the choir leader looked at the lyrics, and she looked at me and she said, "Did you write this?" I said, "Well, yes, I did." And she said, "You're gonna piss some people off." And I smiled and I said, "Well, I certainly hope so." And from that point on, I had five choir singers to work with, and we just made some studio time and worked on it, well, the compilation, it was the right thing at the right time, because you had this tune, which I immediately decided was going to be the lead track, right, and everything worked out. Some of the other songs were actually written for the project, so we had a really good mix of songs that didn't have a home, like Johnny Fuzak's song he had written quite a few years ago, never really had a home for it, and then the title track, The Time Is Now, just fell together instantly when we came up with the idea for the compilation. So it was just sweet how it came on down, and we had songs that already existed that didn't have a home, and then we inspired people to actually write songs kind of almost on the spot for the CD. Everything worked out perfectly. It's just a great project.
As the old cartoon saying goes, I love when a plan comes together.
Yeah, this is like the epitome of that. Yeah, absolutely was. And much credit to Steve over here who just pulled that whole thing together. Well, everybody, once Steve came up with the idea, everybody just bought into it. It was great.
Which is a tribute, Steve, to you, because sometimes working with musicians is a bit like herding cats.
Yep, exactly. No, worse.
Much worse. So I'm going to spin a few tunes. We're going to come back. We're going to have more. Ed's going to perform live for you. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of the big show coming up on March 1st at the Courthouse Center for the Performing Arts. But before that, we're going to have a little Chuck Berry by way of Groovy Ghoulies off of the album Buried Alive. This is their rendition of Carol.
Jump into my machine so we can move on out. I know a swinging little joint where we can jump and shout. It's not too far back up the highway, not so long a ride.
former in-studio guest and good friend of the Tony Jones Show. You just heard from Marty Garcia off of Wild Horse Ranch. That was Cathedral. Incidentally, she will be paying tribute to Stevie Nicks on March 1st. Before that, you heard from the Groovy Ghoulies covering the word legendary gets thrown around a lot. However, it is apropos in this case, covering the legendary Chuck Berry Carol, the name of that track. You are tuned into the Tony Jones Show, facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. TonyJones.org is my website. Don't forget to check us out on RI Free Radio at rifreeradio.org. Steve is here from the 1 of 52 Hunger Network. Ed McGill is here. And we're talking about the big event coming up March 1st, Courthouse Center for the Performing Arts, which, if you haven't been to, it's not really my neck of the woods. However, I have been there a few times. A fantastic space for whatever. I mean, whatever you happen to be going there to do. It's an insane space. I mean, it's not your run-of-the-mill coffee house kind of, sticky floor place that I hang out at and drink Narragansett beers. I mean, this place is fantastic. We started off tonight with Mark Cutler. Mark Cutler will be paying tribute to the Stones. Ed, who are you paying tribute to?
Leadbelly.
And was there any specific reason?
Well, nobody else was going to be doing that. I didn't think. Also, of late, I've been playing a lot of 12-string guitar, and that's Leadbelly. Practically always played a 12-string guitar, and once I got a hold of a 12-string guitar, which, by the way, a fellow named John Fusick actually gave to me. We had worked together, and he hadn't been using it. And so I've got this guitar that I've had for like 30 years. It's sitting in a case.
Wow.
And so I did a bunch of work on it and fixed it up, and I've been having a really good time playing 12-string. So when that show came up, I talked to Mark Von Odeldale. Mark Sven Odeldale. Like that Sven part.
Love his name.
Yeah, it's great. Mark Sven Odeldale, who is the organizer of this event. And I looked at all the different artists that people picked, and I said, well, nobody's picking Leadbelly. So. And Leadbelly is interesting. Pete Seeger, getting back to Pete Seeger, he actually met Leadbelly, and that's the reason Pete Seeger always played the 12-string guitar. He was, after hearing Leadbelly. And also, interestingly enough, is person who covered 4 Leadbelly tunes was Kurt Cobain on a
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. It was the last tune he performed acoustically on MTV Unplugged. He wanted to play after he did "Where Did You Sleep Last Night," and he felt that he couldn't match that performance. So, and he also did a couple of others with a little side band that was 2 members of Nirvana and another punk grunge band from Seattle, Washington. I forget the name of them, but the 4 of them got together. They did 4 covers of 4 Leadbelly songs. So quite an interesting history. Leadbelly wrote a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's true. They don't really. As I'm looking down the list of who will be represented, Joni Mitchell, John Lennon, Neil Young, Jethro Tull. You'll be paying tribute to Leadbelly. T-Rex will also be paid tribute to, and I think you guys get the hip points. Yeah, right. You two have the most obscure, the most hip,
thank you,
the most hip tributes going on that night.
Mark Greenwood, isn't it Mark Greenwood that's covering T-Rex?
Yeah.
Mark Greenwood is an old friend of mine. I think that's great. I was like, wow. Fantastic. Nothing easy. Let's get let's get these. Well, Leadbelly wrote Midnight Special.
Yeah.
Which that's who first made that? I guess it was Creedence Clearwater Revival that made that. Well, one of the bands that made that fairly famous.
So Ed, if you'd like to play a live one, everybody will have a little bit of a taste of what they have in store for them at this event.
Well, sure. I think what I'll do, since I already discussed it with myself, a song that Pete Seeger made really famous, and was something that he got from Lead Belly, and it's one of those sing-along type tunes that everybody hears at the end of a night. Not that this is the end of the night, but
right before closing time.
right, yeah. And this is called Irene Goodnight. Last Saturday night, I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and that girl, we have parted. Guess I'll take me a stroll downtown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. A guy named Ronnie Cox wrote this next verse. He was the guitar player in Deliverance, and he's done a whole bunch of other things. Well, sometimes she sleeps in pajamas, and sometimes she sleeps in her gown, and sometimes they're all in the laundry, and that's when you find me hanging around. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream.
Good old-fashioned live radio, the way God intended it to be. Ed McGurl performing live for you right here on the Tony Jones Show. We're going to hear from a great Providence local band called The Pixels now. This is their track, Je ne sais quoi.
Hey America, I love you, America. Say that you'll be true with your amber waves of gray. You
but not alone. It's a shotgun trust in the South or bust. Yes, I'll be gone. If I should soil my chance, I'd jump right in with my angel and dance. If the river runs dry, pretend that it's wine, there'll be smiles all around. I'll be on my way. Maybe Santa Fe. Or maybe Texas. Scared of me, aware of my horns. No ghost of a man never took me down. Cause I'm bonafide, certified, qualified king of this town. No, king of this town. Clown of this town. King clown of this town. Look my no hands. Scared of me, aware of my horns. No ghost of man never took me down. Yes, I'm bonafide, certified, qualified king of this town. King of this town. King clown of this town. I'm clown of this town. No, I'm no devil's child. Walk on the roads that cross and collide in the demon's nest. I've had heavenly rest, but not alone. You hear what I say? It's a shotgun trust. Maybe South or bust. Or maybe Texas!
King Sickabilly and his one-man band right here on the Tony Jones Show off of Weird Sounds from the Underground. No, Devil's Child, the name of that one. Before that, we heard from The Pixels, a band who has been in this very studio, Je ne sais quoi, the name of that song. Very rarely do we speak foreign languages here on the Tony Jones Show, except for when we play Je ne sais quoi. We have Steve in studio. He's from the One of 52 Hunger Network. Ed McGurl's here. He will be paying tribute to Leadbelly. He will be the hippest performer on March 1st at the Courthouse Center for the Performing Arts because he will pay tribute to Leadbelly. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this event, which is coming up. It's going to be Saturday, March 1st, and like I said, it's going to be at the Courthouse Center for the Performing Arts. That's in West Kingston. It's not too far from URI. You might not know where it is, but I bet you if you think about it, you do know where it is. It's going to start at 4 p.m. And Steve, across the board, every awesome group is going to be represented in some way or another. Rolling Stones, Muddy Waters. Ed's gonna lay it down with some Leadbelly, T-Rex, John Lennon, Neil Young. It was funny too because off the record, I was talking to your organizer about this very show, and at first, it was a little bit of a sausage party. And if you don't know that term, there was too many dudes. So Mark was able to get Marty Garcia in there, and Patty Scott Hansen's going to be paying tribute to Lucinda Williams. So it's going to be a great night all around. Joni Mitchell will be represented. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Eddie's Barbecue will be available. So Steve, Ed, as you guys can know, because you're in studio with me, but people listening over the airwaves might not know, I like to eat. I'm a little bit of a foodie. And, man, Eddie's Barbecue, off the air, Steve, we're talking about supporting local businesses. If you need to go out to lunch, you want to support a local one-man business, Eddie's Barbecue, you got to track him down. Because it's just some fine food. He did a festival with us about this time last year. Oh, I can't even explain it. It's made with love.
Nice. And also, let's not forget the MC of the evening, comedian Mike Holmes, will be there too, keeping you all laughing in between sets.
And it's for the people that like to go out early, it's going to start at 4 p.m. and looks like it's going to be going for a while, right?
Yeah, it'd probably be wrapping up sometime around midnight, and come early, come often. If this is something that you want to... if you think you want to go, you should definitely buy tickets now, because this will sell out. There's no doubt in my mind. It's a pretty small venue. I'm not sure what the total fire capacity is for the venue that it's being held in, but I would only imagine it's a couple hundred, and there's no way this is not going to sell out with this lineup of performers. So go to brownpapertickets.com and search on the benefit concert for the Courthouse Center for the Arts.
It's going to be a great time. It's a great cause. Steve, if there's someone listening out there, we're talking again off the air about kind of these smaller groups. Our friend Chuckles the Clown does Metal for Meals every year. There's a lot of Toys for Tots drives. Bob Venturini does a great job every year. If there's someone out there and they're thinking about getting involved with you or getting involved in general, what would you suggest as someone who's never really done anything like this before? What would you suggest as their first step?
One of the great things about our website is we have a chronology of events dating back almost 20 years of people that have been involved in doing these benefits for us for quite a while. So go to the website, 1of52.net. That's the number one, the word of, the number is 52.net. And go right to the chronology page, because even if you've never done anything like this, you can look at what others have done and say, I can do that. So it's really simple to participate. You can use your talent in any way you see fit to help make a difference. All we look for is one action, minimum 1 week of the year. And it's very easy on the participation side, because you can say get started with a food drive at one of your gigs or whatever. It's a little more heavy duty on the commitment side, because we do ask for an annual commitment. And that's where really separates the wheat from the chaff, because people look at it and they say, oh, I could hold a food drive at one of my gigs. And we say, okay, great. But we do look for that annual commitment. And so really it's either a career or a life commitment. And that's the point where people either one or two reactions. They're either like, way too much commitment, dude, or I totally get what you're doing here. Count me in. And the beauty of that is once we plug them into one of the weeks of the year, they're pretty much there for the duration. We take it even one step further and say, and if you can't do this for whatever reason going forward, try to replace yourself in the network. And that way the whole thing will self-perpetuate.
One thing not to digress too much, but one thing I've noticed with radio over the years is that you'll meet people and they say, oh man, I've wanted a radio show my whole life. I'd love to be on the radio. Then they come down here, they do it for a couple weeks, and they realize, holy crap, this is a lot of hard work. And then we never see them again.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, you got people like Ed that have been with me for a number of years, and dating all the way back. Guys John Cafferty, Steve Smith and the Nakeds.
We're talking 15 years.
Yeah, at least. And even good dating back, I had unfortunately not gigging anymore, but some of our earliest gigs were like Jack Smith on the Rockabilly Planet. Guys just donating from their gigs, holding food drives at the events, and that tradition is just carrying on. And we're really excited about it. We're started in Rhode Island, obviously, and we're up and running in 22 states now. And the vision is that all 50 states will eventually have this core network of 52, all working toward the same goal of ending hunger.
I like that you're talking about people who have been with you for 15, 20 years. I'd like to use my platform to put a little push on the folks that are going to cover the next 15, 20 years. Because unfortunately, that's the situation we're going to be in.
Really, yeah. We're not going, we're definitely digressing, unfortunately.
Yeah. And thank you, by the way, for having us on, because you just hit on an important point. I mean, a lot of us, quite frankly, we've been around for a while. We're graybeards, man. And this work still needs to be needs to be done, and whatever kind of style of music happens to be, whatever you can do to contribute, and we need young blood. Again, unfortunately, the problem is not resolved.
Exactly.
We have to keep moving forward.
And music and hunger have always been, very related causes.
Yeah, ask any musician.
Yeah, exactly. Dating all the way back to the George Harrison Bangladesh concerts, right up to present day and into the future. So yes, that's a great point, Tony. And we definitely encourage young people to get on board and take it with them up in their careers.
So if you go to Brown Paper Tickets, you can get tickets from March 1st at the Courthouse Center for the Performing Arts. Starts at 4 p.m. And if you go on Facebook, you guys are on all the social media sites. Steve, one more time, what's the .com website?
Oneof52.net.
And Ed, anybody out there interested in your music, how do they get a hold of you?
I'm right on Facebook like everybody else in the world. You don't have to be young to be on Facebook. That's what I like about it.
Right? Thank you guys again.
Look up Ed McGurl.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Tony.
We're going to hear, as we wrap things up, from the Benedictions. This is off of American Wasteland. I had the Benedictions in studio, and they were nice boys, so I always like to play their song, Nice Boy. So that's what's coming up as we wrap up another episode of The Tony Jones Show. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. TonyJones.org is my website. Look us up on Twitter. And, of course, look us up on iTunes, where you can get the Tony Jones Show podcast anytime you want. Sitting on the toilet, listen to Tony Jones. On the road, going on a road trip, listen to Tony Jones. You're driving out to West Kingston for this benefit show on March 1st, you can listen to Tony Jones. Here are the Benedictions. This is Nice Boy. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Tony. Nice.
Time I wouldn't drink it, no matter what you said it was. And there was a time that I wouldn't smoke it, no matter what you said it does. And it used to be that your sister and me, we could be left alone in the city. And it used to be that I could feel your pain and you could feel my pity. Well, I'm not a bad man, but I'm no angel, that's for sure. And I used to be such a nice boy, but I ain't like that no more. Oh no, I ain't like that no more. I used to be such a nice boy, but I ain't like that no more. Never bought poison, 'cause I couldn't take the taste of the cure. And I believed that what would make me right was something a little more pure. Oh, all those innocent things climbing up out of dishonored graves, following me down dark alleys, all begging to be saved, searching for forgiveness. Well, I knocked on every door, and I used to be such a nice boy, but I ain't like that no more. Oh no, I ain't like that no more. Well, I used to be such a nice boy, but I ain't like that no more. back down the stars, but they're all watching the war. And I used to be such a nice boy, but I ain't like that no more. Oh, no, I ain't like that no more. I used to be such a nice boy, but I ain't like that no more.
It's not that people are willing to take the risk. It's just sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
The time for mediocrity in broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to The Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock. Don't forget you can find us throughout the show on Facebook at facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. And I am also throughout the broadcast on Twitter at Tony Jones NRI. Don't forget to check out TonyJones.org. That is my website. We are over the air, online, in podcast, and broadcasting via Spreaker, playing the best music around, bringing the best folks around right here on the Tony Jones Show. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention we kicked things off with a great local band called The Universes. That was a track called Hospitals. Our in-studio guest tonight, Mr. Andy Stone. Andy, good evening.
Hey, Tony, how are you?
So you bailed out of Rhode Island for a while and were crazy enough to actually come back.
Yeah. The boat had bailed from, the water had dried up, so it's safe, yeah. I was gone for about 20 years or so, and in Boston, Washington, Chicago, L.A., New York, and but I grew up here, and I love it here, and I came back, and I'm happy to be back doing music.